Oh, I hit the wrong button, so now this is a two-part series video. Isn't that a funny thing? I'm going to finish it though because I want everyone to hear this. So that is what actually happens when you come to me. I cannot speak for the process of other healers or energy workers or practitioners. That is what I can tell you what it goes on in the experience that we are sharing together. And so I am honored that when people ask me and come to me, and I allow myself to really try to be as present as much in your story as I possibly can, but keep mine clean also. So if some days I think I'm going to do 3 clearing sessions, for example, to get, particularly now because I'm offering you 3 days to get them back, and 2 of them could have been very big, and you might not think so when the time it takes them to do the report, but it's the energy then flows out into the universe and starts to show up through the synchronicities of questions and songs and signs and the email sign numbers it's all that stuff happens. They reach out, somebody else reaches out and mentions them. You hear something about them that causes you to feel joy or pain. And so if it's something that makes you happy, I really go happy. I'm really good at going really, really happy. And then if it's painful, just allow yourself to completely let it feel your way through it. And it may only take a minute or 2. But be honest with yourself and say, that's real. I feel really, really sad. And I know that you can relate to that when I've told you guys that I don't do that very often. I'm going to pick that one back up, or it wasn't meant to be said. So when you go in and you do all of this work, this is what the process is. And so yes, so you're going into that sadness and stuff like that. Allow yourself to feel it, and then pick an affirmation from the invocations, or pick an affirmation from that you have yourself if you're doing energy work yourself. And I just heard that I could teach this too, and you know what, I know I can, but I have to allow myself to work at my pace, because what I was saying is that I can be very tired after a session. I can also be jazzed right up, but for the most part in the twin sessions versus people that are coming to me and asking me to help them on life levels, and we're looking at things like spiritual entrepreneurship and stuff like that, those sessions are very different. We're here to heal the whole heart. And when I ground, when people talk about teach you how to ground, I ground deep into the crystalline heart core of Mother Earth. In my vision, in my world, and what I believe I'm grounding to a giant crystalline heart in the center of Mother Earth. And when you feel yourself get to that place, and you feel yourself line up with that heart, like I see colors, I see magical things. And I'm always in so deep gratitude that Mother Gaia is taking all of this on for us, particularly how we're treating her. But that's not our story today. Our story is about healing the twin journey. It's about healing the heart. It's about healing our hearts to allow our highest story to come in. It's not even about the twin journey. Because some of us will unite with our twins, and the fact of the matter is some of us won't. If we don't get above our ego, both of us, or at least one of us, enough to fully pull the other one out, that's the story you'll leave this incarnation with, which means you're going to have to go through another experience, an incarnation and lifetime in some way, to work this out with your twin in another experience. So I hope that helps you understand what a twin flame clearing is, or just in general what a session, a clearing that I do, whether I'm doing the twin work or whether I'm doing a full session with the Reiki energy and the quantum energy and the story and the healing work that may follow, or the cards that follow along with it, because I have an offer to add in a 3-card reading afterwards. This is all evolving for me, so I'm taking it in at the pace that I'm being guided to take it. And I wish I could remember a quote I got yesterday. jeepers. I try to like things or comment on them every time I hear something I like that really resonates for me, because I don't want to go looking for it again. But if it pinged for me that much, I know it means I could talk around it or teach around it or pray around it or something. So God bless all of you beautiful souls. God bless you for coming to this journey. God bless you for being a part of a higher story, you know, for allowing people to come of assistance. And if you don't come out and ask for healing work somewhere, there's no judgment in that. But then find a process to do your own. Find a process to... I want to hear that again. Find a process that allows you to take some of the things you're being taught, but then go put them into action, please. The universe can only do so much if we're not doing our, you know, they don't want us to do all of it. They're not going to do all of it, but because we chose the human experience, they do want us to do, you know, kind of a reasonable and fair and spiritually equitable amount of participation. And I talked yesterday quite passionately about putting action behind your story. So I hope that this is going to help people know what I do. I am going to be having a subscription to this 3-part series, which will go in as through a subscription, and it'll go out. So if you, when I launch that, if you feel anybody would be beneficial and wants to see the 3-part series, then I guide you to just send them to like and subscribe for it. And be patient and kind. They're just repeating it over and over and over again. Be patient and kind, be patient and kind. Be patient and kind to yourself first. Be patient, because when you become patient and kind for yourself, it's way easier to be patient and kind for somebody else. Some people, that's not the case because we beat ourselves up. But this is about learning to stay in your own higher story. So it's like, okay, I messed up. I did this. I got responsive. I reacted. I did whatever. I shot back. I spit from my mouth. But you know what? It's part of my story. It's part of the process. I'm willing to forgive myself for it. Do the Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And thank you. Say that to yourself and go look up the Ho'oponopono prayer if you want a powerful prayer to work with. And I do Ho'oponopono prayer also. So, but that is what we do. You know, we have beautiful Kuan Yin, and we have candles, and we have our incense, and I'm about to get started on some sessions. So I hope that has just, you know, helped people understand, well, what is she going to do if I let her in? Because I'm very, you know, I said in my video yesterday, see, it comes up today, it's meant to be reminded. Be discerning. You know, if you go let somebody into your spiritual field, you want to make sure they have a pretty clean heart and a pretty clean field themselves, because otherwise we just download other people's shit, and there can be lots of judgment and stuff in it. So God bless. Thank you for coming to Wisdom of the Akashics. The link below to the twin clearings will be in the box below. If you want to know more about a follow-up clearing, please ask me that separately. It's not on that page. It's probably going to become a combination, because I really do find that people get amazing amount of value of follow-up work, because it's like, here's what we did, and then we get to take time to talk about it and feel our way through it, and do a little bit more work and go get another layer of the onion. But I say do those sessions for yourself after you've done one for your twin, because the other thing that I haven't even mentioned is when I go in and I have all this story happening, your twin is in that story, and they're only there by free will. That's why I was comment about not getting something that's this long in writing, because I'm not doing that to your twin. I'm not downloading all that information into the story. They'll run so friggin' fast, it would just be for naught. I mean, it'll always help at some level, but it's kind of like taking the session. And, you know, if I go into a session and I want to call all up the stuff and every little pain that we have in the relationship and this and that, and I call it all up in one story, and And especially if we start getting specific about he did or they did and things like that, I, in integrity, work around that stuff. I don't bring that to your twin. They're there by choice, by love, by free will, and they get to, we do not want to overwhelm them with energy work that they haven't given written full payment permission for. We do not step over the line into and be out of integrity in asking for this work and going into their field without their permission. I dedicate the work to them, and then they choose to take it. And you have to realize, because they don't know this is going on consciously, that they are going to be not even fully sure why. I actually talked to my twin a lot when I was started to do a lot of the work about what I do and about what I do in our story and how I pray around it and how I can feel him and how I will send him a note on gateway days and say, there's a big thing going on in the universe today, sweetie. It's going to affect, it's going to have an impact on her, and I'm praying deeply in it today. My twin knows all of this about me. He accepts it about me. He's never turned it away from me. He's never looked at me with, if he doesn't understanding something, he'd say, I don't get what you mean. Can you explain it for? And man that I was with previously would literally just roll his eyes. There she goes again. He listens. He participates. He agrees to be in gratitude when I ask him to be on board with me that day. He knows that if I'm sending him something that's got big energetic story to it and I'm including him, I respect him enough to tell him that. I don't tell him every time. But when I was first originating this story, where I realized I'd gone into a twin relationship, which I've talked about in a previous video, of being in complete resistance to, so he knows that I'm a healer. I have never ever felt him judge it. He just looks at me as somebody that helps people. And he came to me while I was in a session yesterday, and that's what he said. You help people, Diane, with the work that you do. And my answer was, and I'll share it with you because I shared it with someone else today. My answer was, and this is verbatim, I don't have it in front of me, but my answer was, yes, my love, we do. We do, or we are. Because he's healing everything with me. And so my story has a twin that's in love. In the story, in the essence of love. So that essence is going to come into your story when we do the work. I hope that you understand that. If not, you can ask me for clarification. So that is what happens here. I'm a very energetic person sometimes, and sometimes my ass is beat to the ground. But when I go into your sessions, I go into them in an etheric sense and just in relaxation and prayer. But I still don't want to do more than a few of them a day. That's what I feel is right, to allow all the energy to process. And because I do believe we are actually unfolding and opening a gateway in this particular story right now. And that it's kind of like, I picture it, and I just saw this. It's like when you go to a castle and all of the gloriness and all of the beauty and all of the gold and all of the opulence and everything is on the other side of the castle. And it's there in harmony, it's there in abundance, it's there in joy. And if there's greed, we would clear the greed. But it's like when you can see in a movie, and this giant, giant door, the big, 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 big doors, and then you'd see the little horses and men in front of it. It's like every time we do this, and every time we do clean up our story and stuff, it's that giant gate is just slowly going, and it's going and it's going and going, and then it all of a sudden goes out into the sides, and it's a big wide open gate with a pathway into it, and then it allows everybody through it. That was just channeled to me, but I see it. I saw the whole picture. I saw the picture in a second. It took me a minute to explain it. I'm humbled to do this work. I'm humbled to have you come to the videos and You know, I deeply, deeply appreciate you as a warrior in the story here. Goddess warrior, spiritual warrior. We are making a difference. Trust that. In great gratitude and humility and grace, thank you. I'm going to post this video. 1515. 1515, I think that came up in another video the other day. I'm pretty sure it did. And 111 on my clock. See, this is the confirmation. This is the kind of stuff where you don't question the Spirit speaking to you and telling you you're on the right path. So by hearing this and staying till this mark, that I see 1515 while I'm giving you a particular message, and I look down and I have 111 on my clock, this is confirmation that you were meant to be here till this point in the story. This will be described as part 2. God bless you guys, love you, and I'm off to do some amazing energy work today. Diane Lang with some of the Akashics. Namaste.